Thank you, Mr. President. I come to the floor today to mark an important milestone in this new administration. Senate Republicans have now confirmed more than 100 nominees in President Trump's second term. This is significant progress in filling critical government positions. It took relentless procedural battles to accomplish this. It included full days, long nights. Why? Because Democrats are waging a coordinated campaign of obstruction. Under the Constitution, the Senate is meant to provide advice and consent. We do it on presidential nominations, do it on a number of things. Specifically with regard to nominations, this means an honest evaluation of qualifications, and it means a vote in the United States Senate. Now, for more than 6 months, Senate Democrats have turned advice and consent into automatic opposition. It doesn't just delay President Trump, it damages the country. Democrats have filibustered all but one of President Trump's nominees, and that was the very first nominee, Marco Rubio, to be Secretary of State. He was confirmed on day one of the administration. Since then, it has been a wall of obstruction. Democrats filibustered positions requiring confirmation that have never before even had a roll call vote in the United States Senate. They've gone by unanimous consent. Democrats filibustered the chief of protocol for the State Department, the chief of protocol. Democrats filibustered the Undersecretary of Commerce for Industry and Security. They filibustered the Undersecretary of Defense for Research and Engineering. Today, 138 nominees who have already been approved by a full vote in Senate committees are caught here in Senate floor purgatory. Democrats in the Senate seem to have a new litmus test. President Trump nominates you, Democrats are against you. Period. End of story. Yesterday, the Senate confirmed 4 nominees: the Assistant Secretary of Commerce for Communications and Information, the Undersecretary of Treasury for Terrorism and Financial Crimes, a district judge for the Eastern District of Missouri, and the Assistant Administrator at the Environmental Protection Agency. All qualified, all vetted, all experienced, each and every one filibustered. The Democrats forced the Senate to burn every minute of available time before the Senate was permitted to vote. When Democrats delay nominations and nominees, people specifically charged to fight drug trafficking, to protect the environment, to track terrorists, it delays justice. It makes our nation weaker and less safe. It tells Americans that Democrats care more about politics than they do problem solving. Now Democrats are targeting President Trump's nominee to the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Third Circuit. We just heard the Senate Minority Leader talk about that nominee. By any objective measure, Mr. Bovee is qualified, Georgetown law, top 5% of his class, a decorated former prosecutor, someone who took on and took down violent criminals, drug traffickers, terrorists. But because he worked for President Trump, he's now a target of a politically motivated hit job. During his confirmation, he said this under oath. He said, "I have never advised a Department of Justice attorney to violate a court order. The facts support his testimony." So today, Senator Schumer came to the floor and said of Mr. Bovee, he said he was, quote, "as extreme as anyone we've considered in this chamber." Mr. President, let me recall for the body some of the people that were nominated in the Biden administration, supported by Chuck Schumer, when he takes an attack on such a qualified nominee as we're debating and discussing and voting on today. Democrats confirmed as U.S. Attorney from Massachusetts someone who released a list of charges that she would refuse to prosecute if she was confirmed. She said, "I refuse to prosecute shoplifting, drug possession with intent to distribute." Okay, under the Democrats, they want her confirmed as the U.S. Attorney, and they did that for Massachusetts. They also confirmed in 2021 under Joe Biden an Assistant Attorney General who supported efforts to, quote, defund the police. An Attorney General wanting to defund the police. And then they supported and nominated and confirmed a judge for the United States Court of Appeal for the 11th Circuit, a judge who worked for a left-wing organization that, listen to this, Democrats, repeatedly called for a complete reimagining of policing in this country. That's what they're for. That's who they are. That's the Democrats today. So the kicker of all of this, Mr. President, is the Democrats' radical nominee for the Third Circuit in 2024. This same position, opposed by more than 20 police groups. 20 police groups. Served on the board of advisors of a group that called cop killers freedom fighters. The Democrats came to this to support a nominee by the president, then Joe Biden, who was a member of a board of advisors for a group that called cop killers freedom fighters and advocated for their release. Nevertheless, Democrats strongly supported the confirmation. They relented only after President Trump won the election. Mr. President, Republicans are working hard to get America back on track. On another matter, Mr. President, this Saturday marks the Day of the American Cowboy. This national celebration began 20 years ago. It started by my predecessor, Senator Craig Thomas, and I'm proud to continue it with Senator Cynthia Lummis today. By celebrating the American cowboy, we celebrate the men and the women who transformed a vast frontier into vibrant communities. The people who paved the way for the American dream from the saddle of a horse, they made America great. The people who continue to believe that freedom is a gift from God, not from the government. That's who cowboys are. The American cowboy represents the grit and the values that America is built on. Now, I'm from Wyoming, and in Wyoming we believe in the cowboy code, and we live it each and every day. It says, live each day with courage. Take pride in your work. Do what needs to be done. That's what we do in the West. And we need these values more than ever in America, and especially in Washington, D.C. Because cowboys will tell you, it's not about the boots on your feet, not about the hat on your head, it's about the values you embrace. Values that cowboys truly represent. The character matters more than the credentials. The actions speak louder than words. The best government is the government that trusts the people to govern themselves. The American frontier spirit is alive and well today. President Ronald Reagan said when he was in Cheyenne, Wyoming, in the American West, he said the thing he loved about Wyoming and the West, he said, people here still believe the future is ours to shape. People in the West continue to create and shape that future each and every day. Thank you, Mr. President. I yield the floor.